Would you like the magic pen or are you going to dictate? You feel free to dictate.
So you move the 5 over to the other side and the square root over to the other side.
I see, because this square root was negative and you didn't want it to be negative.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Kelvin is going to have root of negative 6m equals 7. Right? Everybody okay with that? You might have done it in a little bit different order, but that's where you end up. Yes? He has isolated the radical. That's the first step always, right? Excellent. Kelvin, what was your next step? Square everything. And that gets you what? This is tricky. No. It gets you negative 6m still. Squaring just removes the radical. Now, somebody always says, but Mr. Myers, when you square a negative, it becomes positive. But you're not squaring the negative, are you? You're squaring to get rid of the radical. It's kind of like the exponent thing, right? You can have a negative exponent or a negative base, but not a negative exponent. So, equals what, Kelvin? 49. Now what? Right? So m equals that. Yeah? Yes. 8 1/6 or 8.0117 or some crap. I can't remember what 1/6 is as a decimal. 1/16? Okay. Yeah? Now what do you got to do? Check it. How do you check it? Plug it in. Barfy. Right? What's...
Excuse this interruption. Could we have grade 9s proceed for the assembly? Thank you.
Yes,
No, we don't have it.
Only grade 9s and 10s are subject to bullying. Apparently. Grade 11s and 12s are not subject to bullying. Apparently you guys are the bullies. So of course, what will the negative 6 and this 6 do? Cancel, which gives me the root of 49. And what is the root of 49? 7. And what is 2 minus 7? Negative 5. So it's right. Okay. All right. Number 2. What's step 1? Isolate the radical. So again, it doesn't matter what you do. You could move the radical over, you could move the 17 over. You could move the 7 over here. I don't care, as long as the radical gets isolated. Kelvin? Yes, you move the 4 with the radical because it's a coefficient. So, most of you probably moved this over here to get that positive and that over there to end up with negative 24 equaled 4 root 2x minus 1. That's what I imagine most of you probably did. Now what? Is the radical isolated? No, because there's still a 4 with it. Divide both sides by 4. Negative 6 equals root 2x minus 1. Now what? Square both sides. 36 equals 2x minus 1. 37 equals 2x. 18.5. Yeah? Then what? Put it back in. Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? No. It does not work. So is there... Now, this is where we get into an argument. This works here and here, right? But it does not work in the original equation. Okay? You got to understand the difference here. Just because it works somewhere, everywhere beyond here is not the original equation. You've changed it. Yes? So you just check. 2 times 18 is 37. 37 minus 1 is 36. Square root of 36 is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Negative 7 minus 24 is not 17. Right? Because this symbol means what? What are we looking for when I put that symbol there? Am I looking for the square root, or am I looking for the positive principal root? Positive principal root. Everybody understands the difference, yes? Everyone gets what I'm talking about, right? Square root of 49. Square root of 49 is what? Plus or minus 7. Square root of 49 equals 7. Now what am I looking for? Only the positive principal root, which is 7. Right? Got it? Actually, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done this. Square root of x equals 7. Now, because it's in an equation, I'm only looking for the positive root. Got it? Yeah. Yeah. Are there any restrictions here, which I didn't explain, I didn't talk about? Are there any restrictions? Pardon me? X has to be greater than 1/2 here. Or equal to 1/2, yes? Are there any restrictions on M here? What is M not allowed to be? M could be 0. Square root of 0 is 0. M cannot be what? Less than? M can't be positive, can it? Because what happens if M is positive? I think you have a flair for overstatement. Sydney, can you imagine the Hollywood blockbuster movie? The Disaster! And there's a bunch of kids in math class, square root of -7. Oh my God! Make your peace, read your Quran, it's over! No, Sydney, it's not disaster. But it is indeed impossible. So, M has to be less than or equal to 0. Because if M is negative, then -6 times negative is positive and we can use it. That was very funny. Whew. When Hollywood takes the disaster movie too far. Although they are getting there, right? Really, how many Sharknadoes are there going to be? Right? How many?
Wasn't Sharknado supposed to be bad though?
Yes, it was. It was. My personal favorite was the Avalanche Sharks. That was my favorite. Somehow sharks in the snow on a ski hill. Something like that. I didn't watch it because, Kelvin, if you learn nothing from me, learn this. You can only spend each minute of your life once. There's no going back in time. So if you lose 120 minutes to avalanche sharks. Now, I know I'm also a big believer in, when you're 97 and you're lying in a bed and you've been in a bed for 6 years because you can't function anymore. Are you really living a life? There's arguments that way. But at 89 and a half, just before I went into that bed, I might want those 2 hours back. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whatever, Kelvin. Why? Why? Don't be that way. Kelvin, it's not about the math. It's about the point. Don't watch Avalanche Sharks. There. Is that straightforward enough for you? Stop wasting your time watching Avalanche Sharks. Have any of the rest of you seen Avalanche Sharks? Put your hands up. You can be honest. All right. Do any of you watch the show Beyond? I just started it last night. That's not a bad show.
What's it about?
Some kid who was in a coma for 12 years and wakes up with superpowers. It's filmed in Mission. It's got some of the same kids that are in Riverdale. When we were watching it last night, I kept telling my kids, Riverdale's filmed in Mission. Yeah. 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 Riverdale is filmed over there. Yeah. I am bothered by Riverdale. Archie need not have blackmail and murders. Archie can just be, hey, let's go get a malt. Okay, are we going to kiss? Maybe. Like, I think Archie can, we don't need to make Archie, and no spoilers, so I won't say anything, but Archie has a dark side in Riverdale, if you haven't seen it yet. Part of his dark side is his bushy black eyebrows that somehow gave him bright red hair. The makeup artists need to have some time with Archie there.
Well, I mean, people with ginger hair sometimes have black beards. So.
It's still a good show. I don't mind it. But, yeah. Anyway. My daughter's addicted to it. She's mad, though. She doesn't like waiting a week for a new show. So she fills her time with Pretty Little Liars in between. Which is the same damn show. It's the same. My daughter, no, it's not, Daddy. Okay, honey. All right. Isolate the radical. What do you do? I move the 3. 15 equals 5 root 8 minus x. Divide by 5, 3 root 8 minus x. Yeah. Square both sides, 9, 8 minus x. Okay. And last thing, x equals what? I'll get it. What does x equal? -1. Does it work? Go for Myers. I do indeed. Sure. Cowan! Cowan, you gotta go to the office. I don't know why. And does -1 work? Are there restrictions on x? What is it? Less than or equal to 8. Good. What about 4? Radical's already isolated, so we square it. M squared minus 3 equals 25. M squared equals 28. M equals what? Root 28, which is 2 root 7. Yeah? Now, question. Is it 2 root 7? Or is it plus or minus 2 root 7?
Probably wrong. Both.
It can't be both.
I'm going to leave that by itself. On your quiz, not your quiz, on your test, at the end of your whole test, tell me which it would be. No, I'll say it slower now. On your test, at the end of your test, tell me which it would be, give me a reason. If you're right, with a good reason, I'll give you some bonus marks. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Oh, yeah, I'll put that in the question on the test so you can remember it. Yeah, come on. What do you think I am, some kind of moron?
Was it positive or negative?
Yeah, right. That's that last thing. Bonus mark, positive or negative. Huh? What? Okay. Last one. Not last one. Second last one. What is it? Is it already isolated? Yeah. So square both sides. Now what? Move the 64 over. Now what? Factor, what is it? Negative 16 and positive 4? Positive 16 and negative 4. So what is x? Oh, you were giving me the answer. Oh, Lucas, you sneaky. Now what? Check them. Do they both work? Does one work or do neither work? I don't hear a lot of people saying, they both work, Mr. Myers. Or neither one works, Mr. Myers. Because I see a lot of people checking them now. Which says to me, I did not do this, Mr. Myers. So without even telling me you didn't do your homework, I know, don't worry. I file it away in my head for the first time you come and complain about why you didn't get good marks on a test. 4 works. Let's see. 16 plus 12 times 4 is 48. 16 and 48 is 64. Is the square root of 64 8? Yeah, sure. You betcha. 16 squared is 256. Plus 192 is... Or 256 minus 192 is what? 256 minus 192 is 64. Right, it is 64. What's the square root of 64? 8. They both work. What are the restrictions? Oh. X has to be greater than or equal to 0? What? Yes. Yes. Think about what you're asking before you finish that question.
Nice, Joel.
What's 12 times negative 6? There you go. All right. And the restrictions are, Sydney? X squared plus 12x has to be greater than 0, yeah? So that's x, and x plus 12 has to be greater than 0, yeah? Okay. So, x, if x is 0, we're okay. Right? What if x is negative? This in here is our problem, right? Because if x is negative, then I got a negative out in front. So everything in here has to be negative, yeah? So, you good? All right. So really all that matters is x plus 12, right? If x plus 12 is greater than 0, I'm okay too. I'm going to give you guys a warning. Restrictions are, at this point in our mathematical journey, the last thing I care about. Understand? You're going to get lots of practice on restrictions. This is much more important to me than restrictions right now. Okay? Lucas? Sometimes. And this guy? So I got root 3x minus 5 equals x minus 5. Now what? Square both sides. 3x minus 5 equals x squared minus 10x plus 25. Now what? Collect like terms. X squared minus 13x. When I square this side. X squared minus 5x minus 5x. Okay. Sorry. And what was this? Plus 30. What's my x minus 10, x minus 3. So what is x? 10 and 3. Do they both work? $30 minus 5 is 25, yeah? Square root of 25 is 5. 5 plus 5 is? And x was 10. So does 10 work? Yes. Does 3? 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. No, because that says x is 3. Good? Now, the sneakiest question on all of it, because if you even did it, I don't believe you. The question says you're not allowed to do any work. Which one of them doesn't work? Joel? We did no work on it. Kelvin? I got a vote for the first one. I got 3 votes for the middle one. Jordan has voted for the last one. So there's 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. Anybody else want to throw their guess in? You guys are part of those 3. Sydney is backing you up. And you're like, that's Sydney. She's good at math. I'm like, yeah, you're sitting over there. Yeah. Woo! All right. Kelvin went with 1. Kelvin's pretty good at this stuff. I can't believe nobody's asked Peter or Curry. They sit there and they do all this. Peter, you're killing me. Bryce, who everybody, Bryce gets back from a week in Mexico. Doesn't look like I missed much. Pretty easy. Which is it, Bryce?
I didn't even do it. I didn't do any of this. If I had to guess just based off Joel's logic, I would say 2. But
Which is it, Peter? Peter's voting for the last one.
well, I'll take back.
You
what I
can
said.
change your vote? What is this? America voting for Trump? Yes, you can change your vote. You're moving to the second one. Pen's not working anyway.
Wait.
Oh my goodness, Kelvin. You waffle more than...
No, I'm staying with the first one.
Staying with the first one? The answer is, of course, this one. It is the last one. Why? What's the first step? Isolate the radical. So that's going to be root x plus 8 equals negative 7. Can you have a root equaling something negative? No. Because all roots have to be what? Positive in this. No. Because this comes over here, so I'd have negative root m plus 6 equals negative 14, yeah? Isolate the radical, divide by negative 1. M plus 6 equals positive 14. That's okay. You don't have to do work, you just have to look. No, it says by inspection. Yes, look at it. Okay, shut up, lawyer ball. You lose. All right, go. This review is for your test on whatever day I said your test is on.
It says Thursday.
Okay.